Hello, we're back, and it's Friday, which means it's another All Things Advocacy with AARP North Dakota. I'm Josh Aspig, State Director for AARP. With me, as always, Janelle Most. Janelle?
We're actually in the same room, and it's been since January since we've been in the same room. I went back and looked at our videos. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time since we've been side by side, and glad to be back side by side. So the legislature is actually back. Last week when we talked, they had headed out for what was crossover break, but they were actually back today. But they weren't actually back until today, right?
Yeah, exactly. What they did was spend a couple days just going through all the committees, all the hearings for all the bills that crossed over from one chamber to the other. They spent a lot of time digging in bills to the point that the Senate now has 91 bills they were considering on the floor at 12:30 today. So they wanted to get caught up. They wanted to have a lot of things for them to consider before they started meeting back on the floor.
And which we didn't actually have a lot today, but we did have one important bill that we've been tracking, which is the study on prescription drug prices. You want to talk a little bit about what that bill is and what happened this week?
Well, what we thought was a very simple study was a broader conversation, I think, because we've drawn so much attention to lowering prescription drug prices. We're wanting to just study a very narrow part of, the prescription drug costs in terms of Medicare negotiated prices and helping the state, potentially save consumers. But it was a much larger conversation about what is the role of the state. How can we look at other solutions that have been considered in the past or in the future that will actually get at what the cost is and really provide some relief to consumers? So it's weighing heavily on the Senate's mind as well as other, organizations' mind is we need to do something. We're just not sure what it is yet.
So two things. One, thank you, because the reason that it's weighing heavily on their minds is because you've all reached out, put that pressure on them, and had a conversation with your legislators about the importance of prescription drugs to keep up the pressure. Keep up the pressure, keep talking to your legislators about why prescription drug prices need attention from the state legislature. There'll be more on that. We have the insulin cap bill coming down the pike as well, which we'll get to. But let's pivot to next week because, we had that study bill this week. No action was taken. The legislature is obviously back. Next week, we kick off and start the week with a bang right away on Monday. So what's happening on Monday?
Yeah, we're right back at it with House Bill 1447, which is the cryptocurrency fraud ATM bill. And we were pleased with what happened in the House, but we think we can make the bill a little bit better,
Absolutely.
A little stronger for consumers, making sure that there are protections in place, notifications in place, so that we know that cryptocurrency fraud ATMs, that they're being used to perpetrate fraud. But that's on Monday at 10 in the morning. We're super excited to work with our partners to educate the Senate about this new type of a scam and make sure that we get the bill passed.
Yeah, absolutely. What's fun is we've had new partners reach out that are going to probably be showing up and testifying on Monday as well. And we encourage you to tune in on Monday as well. I also want to give a shout out. We did a webinar earlier this week on cryptocurrency. So if you're not familiar with what cryptocurrency is or the types of scams that are being perpetrated, encourage you to visit our website, aarp.org/ND events. There will be a link there where you can go back. It is an on-demand webinar now where you can go back and watch. You'll have to register if you didn't pre-register, but tune in. We had a great presenter, Erica Colm from Dakota State University in South Dakota, gave a great overview of that. So go check that out, aarp.org/ND events. So what action do we want folks to take? What do we want them to do?
Well, if you know a member of the Senate Industry, Business, and Labor Committee, send them a note, text message, maybe give them a call, or if you see them back in their communities. But if not, we'll make sure that everybody has the ability to send an email to the Senate Industry, Business, and Labor Committee to let them know that 1447 is an excellent bill. It's a great step forward, and we want them to support it.
Absolutely. So we will be back next Friday talking about that, and I'm sure plenty of others. If folks want to learn more or keep track of what we're doing in the legislature, where do they go, Janelle?
aarp.org/ND Advocacy.
Awesome. Well, this has been Friday, and this has been another All Things Advocacy with AARP. Have a great weekend, everybody.